When we talk about AI today, it's so easy to just think of it as, well, smarter software. But what if that's not the whole story? What if we're actually missing the much, much bigger picture? What if this isn't just a software update, but the dawn of a brand new industrial revolution? That's exactly what we're going to dig into. Okay, let's really unpack this, because this quote right here, this is the key to everything. When NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, says this, he's not just talking about a new feature. He's saying AI is a fundamental platform shift. It's a complete reinvention of how computing works, from the ground up. Think about it. It's on the same level as when the PC or the internet or the smartphone completely changed how we live and work. It's that big.
So, what makes this shift so different? This slide breaks it down perfectly. See, traditional software was kind of like a rigid recipe. It was pre-recorded, it followed specific instructions, and it only worked with neat, structured data, like think names and addresses in a spreadsheet. But this new AI platform, it's happening in real time. It understands all the messy, unstructured stuff, images, text, sound, and this is the really crucial part. It can actually reason about your intent, not just follow a command.
Right, so to really get our heads around this revolution, we got to look past the magic of something like a chatbot. We need to see AI the way the industry does, not as just one thing, but as a full-blown industrial stack. So let's pull back the curtain and deconstruct it layer by layer.
The best way to think about it is like a 5-layer cake. At the very bottom, you've got energy. You need massive amounts of power for all this. Then you have the layer of chips and computing hardware. On top of that, you've got the cloud services that host everything. Now, the next layer up is the AI models themselves. That's the intelligence that most of us think of when we hear AI. But the most important layer, the real game changer where all the economic value is right at the top, the applications. We're talking healthcare, finance, manufacturing, you name it.
And here's the kicker about building that 5-layer cake. It's not just happening in some digital cloud. It has set off a global construction boom unlike anything we've ever seen before. This is physical, it's massive, and it's happening right now.
To really get a sense of the scale here, just look at this number, $200 billion. And get this, that's not the total investment in AI. That's just the initial investment from a single memory company, Micron, in just the United States. And that's only for one tiny piece of one single layer of that entire stack. It's just staggering. So when you hear a statement like this, it's not hyperbole. It's not an exaggeration. That $200 billion and all the other massive investments that are following, that is the physical reality of building out this new AI platform.
And this is what that new industrial ecosystem actually looks like on the ground. We are literally talking about brand new chip factories, new computer factories, and these enormous new AI factories, which you probably know as data centers. And all of them are being supplied by these super specialized memory factories, or fabs, that are popping up all over the world.
Okay, whenever you talk about an industrial revolution of this size, it immediately brings up the single most personal and, let's be honest, worrying question for all of us. What on earth does this mean for our jobs?
I mean, it's the elephant in the room, isn't it? It's the question that's on everybody's mind. So let's just tackle it head on.
To really answer this, I think we need a better way of looking at it than just job replacement. Let's try thinking about it in terms of purpose versus task. The core idea here is that AI is becoming incredibly good at automating specific tasks, the how of our jobs. But that automation frees us up as humans to focus on our higher-level purpose, the why we do what we do.
Just take the story of radiologists. About 10 years ago, everyone was convinced that AI, which was suddenly superhuman at computer vision, was going to wipe them out completely. But fast forward to today, AI is everywhere in radiology. It automates the task of studying a scan, making it almost infinitely fast. But the radiologist's purpose is diagnosing disease. Freed from that tedious task, they can see more patients, spend more time on complex diagnosis. And the result? Hospitals serve more people, their revenues go up, and they've actually hired more radiologists. Amazing, right?
Now, this whole shift from task to purpose doesn't just apply to individual jobs. It has huge implications on a global scale. In fact, it has the potential to completely reshape the world economy.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This sounds completely backwards. How could the most advanced technology in history possibly make the world more equitable? But honestly, the argument for it is surprisingly strong. So why is it an equalizer? Well, it all comes down to accessibility. See, unlike old software, you don't need a computer science degree to use AI. You just talk to it in your own language. This means anyone,
Literally anywhere can basically become a programmer overnight. And because AI can be trained on local languages and cultures, every single nation has a chance to build its own national intelligence. They can turn their unique heritage into a powerful economic resource, instead of just being left behind by the next big tech wave.
So, with all this talk of $100 billion investments and a historic build-out, there is one giant question just hanging over everything.
We all see the massive stock market valuations, the flood of venture capital, and it's totally natural to wonder if this is all just a bunch of temporary hype. But let's just look at the simple market reality for a second. On one side, you have demand for AI computing that is absolutely exploding. And on the other, the supply is severely limited. It's so limited, in fact, that the immediate rental price, the spot price, for even 2-generation-old GPUs is actually going up. That's basic economics. The demand from new companies and huge R&D shifts is very real, and the infrastructure just can't be built fast enough to keep up.
So when you look at that fundamental imbalance, that raw, unmet demand for this new industrial platform, it completely flips the script. It suggests the real question isn't whether we're in a bubble. It's, given the scale of the transformation that's right in front of us, are we even investing enough?